Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be showing you how I made this Skull Cavern book nook from Stardew Valley. I've been in a Stardew Valley mood lately, probably because I went and saw the Stardew Valley concert in Sydney with my best friend recently.
It's peak.
So it felt appropriate to make a Stardew Valley diorama, or perhaps more fittingly, a book nook. I have this space right here where my PlayStation is that would be perfect for a book nook, so I figured I'd make one of probably one of the worst places in Stardew Valley for me personally, Skull Cavern. The book nook starts off as pieces of foam cut to size. I'm going to put the measurements on screen because I can't be bothered looking them up in my phone, that I then start gluing together. Yes, I messed up the measurements while I was cutting. Here are the new ones on screen with the pieces I used to fix my mistake. Maths was never my strong suit. Taking the front piece of foam, I cut out a huge hole, which totally didn't end up breaking the foam at all. I then take the top piece, bottom piece, and the back part of the front piece and slather them with PVA glue, and then sprinkle on craft sand. These all get sprayed down with isopropyl alcohol and PVA glue to seal everything in. Once that's dry, I slather the walls with PVA glue and start applying air dry clay to the walls. I did this because the clay is basically rock, and the walls of the cavern are made of rock. So therefore I can kind of cheat having to make the rock look like rock by using rock. Plus I couldn't use polymer clay because the foam will melt in the oven and probably release a whole bunch of toxic fumes. Off camera I then sealed everything with black paint, this includes the exterior of the book nook, and then primed everything brown. To avoid having problems seeing what's inside the book nook, I decided to employ the use of lights, specifically cheap Christmas lights. Even at the time of making this, there was no escaping Christmas. These get hot glued into place, admittedly pretty badly, but the main thing is that they'll provide plenty of light when turned on. The rocks and the dirt, get a light brown dry brush, then receive a brown wash. I forgot to film it, but I also fill in the gaps in the clay with black paint. I then turn my attention to the finer details of Skull Cavern, mainly the monsters, but there's some iridium in there too. The iridium ore starts off as a chunk of purple clay, with some dark blue clay bits shoved into it, with one node becoming an iridium crab, thanks to the addition of a head and some arms, claws, with green clay. Next up is the primary reason why I don't like Skull Cavern, the serpents. I originally wanted to do 3, but I ran out of space, so I had to opt for 1. The serpent starts out as a long noodle of dark green clay with 2 little fins on the sides, and a triangular head. Off to the side I had to make its little antenna things out of white clay as I ran out of yellow clay. Once baked, I add in some of the details, such as the shiny bits on the iridium ores, the eyes of the crab. I paint the antenna of the serpent yellow and add some spines and eyes with yellow paint, and add a gloss varnish to the slime that I forgot to film. It's just a semicircle of purple clay. Nothing to it really. Off camera I made some rocks out of clay using various shades of brown mixed together, and with everything ready I start assembly. The last thing to do was to glue the front of the book nook to the front of the book nook, and then glue the roof on, making sure that the lights are positioned properly, and that the battery pack is glued out of sight. And with that, it's finished. Thank you for watching. Now that I've actually made a book nook, I feel like I can call myself a fully fledged YouTuber now. Craft tuber? There happens to be space for one more book nook on my shelf, and I'm currently brainstorming ideas of what to make. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, have a good one. Are you having fun?